Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. It is a Thursday afternoon and the Hasbeen has just appeared. Well, not just appeared, but he was in San Francisco yesterday at the BetterUp Jamboree, the Uplift as they call it, Uplift 2024. He has put in an appearance. He's been very quiet since the whole P. Diddy thing broke. Went quiet after that, like he went rather quiet after the Africa Parks thing broke. Never addressed that, hasn't addressed this P. Diddy thing either. But there he was in his scruffy grey jacket. He seems to have new shoes at this BetterUp Jamboree talking about burnout. And I hope you're not feeling burnt out today. I don't know Hasbeen's definition of burnout, but it must be quite different to the burnout that I might feel or that you watching this might feel. That's just my speculation. But he was there, a life coaching summit on how to deal with burnout and the psychological toll of leading through uncertainty. Sounds like a topic that Megan herself might have come up with, because it had me scratching my head and wondering what it all meant and what Hasbeen could possibly offer to the conversation. He was there with Mindy Kaling. She, of course, was on archetypes and seems to be a parkour supporter, a fan. But he dodged the live stream, apparently. I can't say for certain, but that is the news headline that I read just before I started recording this. So allegedly, he dodged the live stream. And that can't have pleased people who apparently paid $1,600 a ticket. So we're going to have a look. I have my one of my woke tarot decks on the tarot table for this one, Urban Tarot. I want to know what Hasbeen knows about stress and burnout, what he can offer to C-suite leaders in terms of own life experience and things like that. He who works 1 hour a week at most and seems to spend a lot of time allegedly partying with some rather dubious characters, but we don't know that for sure. We can only speculate. And then I want to know how BetterUp is feeling about his contribution, both on the day and in general. Are they happy with his performance? Is he worth the money? And how about those attendees who paid apparently $1,600 a ticket? Are they happy with his contribution? Are they happy with BetterUp? How's it going? BetterUp has, of course, moved, I think, to Austin, Texas. They've left San Francisco. It got too expensive. Maybe the city has got too tricky to live in. But they were back in San Francisco for this one. Apparently in a somewhat more down market hotel and area than they were at their jamboree last year. So maybe that's a bit of a telling thing. So we're going to look at Hasbeen today and see what's going on with him. And of course, as I warm these cards up, I haven't used them for a while. There we go. There we go. Let's remind you that, as ever, this is just tarot for fun and entertainment. It is all speculation. It's all my opinion. And I just read energy. Of course, there is a disclaimer in the box below. Hasbeen and burnout and leading through uncertainty, the psychological toll. He does like to have psychological tolls. That's one thing we know about the Hasbeen. He's latched onto the notion of a psychological toll. But this is of leading through uncertainty. It could just be his own uncertainty about what C-suite level stress is and all of that. What does he know? It's exhausting thinking about the little that is in that brain. You know, the bear of very little brain. The spare of very little brain. There we go, the spare of very little brain. So, I have a horrible feeling I'm misquoting Winnie the Pooh. Apologies if I am. Underlying energy, we have the Eon, which is judgment. The Judgment card, and it's Judgment in reverse. That's an interesting card, even though it's called something different in here. It's a New York-based tarot deck, obviously, there with the memorial and everything. Judgment, it's resurrection upright, it's awakening, it's enlightenment, it's second chances in reverse. Being criticized, being very harshly judged, and maybe running out of opportunities, because that second coming notion that the Judgment card has normally is when the card is in reverse, you're just not getting another chance to come around again. And we won't start singing Carly Simon songs, but you're not coming around again, basically, when the card is in the reverse. So that is a very interesting major arcana. And I could even say, and no disrespect to this memorial, but just the words that are echoing in my mind are writing on the wall for some reason. Just want to say that, and as I say, I don't mean any disrespect to this particular place. So the situation we're dealing with today, we are dealing with, and I have to always focus on these cards, this is the Six of Swords, and it's the Six of Swords in reverse. It's called Science, but the Six of Swords is really about being in a pickle and wondering how you're going to, well, not wondering, it's actually moving out of difficulty. And sometimes it has a medical connotation, the Six of Swords, about illness and things like that, which is why I think the science thing is there. It's a key word. But Six of Swords in reverse, being stuck in a situation that is a little bit turbulent, a little bit stormy, a little bit tricky. And it has the overseas thing, and it's now he's overseas. There might be visa issues around this BetterUp deal. I'm not going to dig into that here because we're going to look at the visa situation in the next reading today. But there might be work-related visa-y type of issues to do with BetterUp. He is their chimpo, of course. And it is this notion of traveling far, far away, or maybe wanting to go home and get away from this situation, or finding that you can't go home, or finding that you can't leave your troubles behind you. And he's got plenty of troubles. He's got the P. Diddy thing. He's got the African Parks thing. He's got all kinds of things. He's got trouble at home, I suspect, given the nature of the readings, the cards that come through when I look at the home front with Hasbeen, whether with his own blood relations or with his wife and family on that front. So let's see the Hasbeen. What does he know about stress? What could he possibly offer? Burnout is the word, not stress. Burnout. So what is his actual experience of burnout that he could usefully discuss at this uplift thing? What does he know? What does he think he knows? We have the Devil. Interesting. And a sleazy looking devil there. It's in reverse. Well, we know who the devil is normally when we do these royal readings. So there is that energy that's underlying this card. Of course, back at home, we were talking about troubles on the family front and the married in trouble. There is the devil. But the devil really is about addiction, substance abuse, things like that. So his notion of burnout, and my working title for this is The Burnt Out Ends of Smoky Days, T.S. Eliot, Preludes. Interesting that a card that can very often indicate substance abuse, addiction, obsession, that sort of thing, has shown up. So what he knows about, according to these cards, of course, me just reading energy here as a tarot reader, according to the cards that I'm looking at, his notion of burnout is quite different to a guy who's running a huge public company and got shareholders and things, and, you know, all that stuff. His notion of burnout is crawling off the carpet and with a bit of carpet burn maybe on his cheek, and some drool, and maybe he's burnt a hole in the carpet, and maybe he's about to get shouted at by someone who's cross with him for burning a hole in the carpet. I'm being very facetious, but we know that he has substance issues, or had substance issues, because he himself has spoken about it ad nauseam. There it is. Devil in reverse. So, how's his relationship with BetterUp? From his point of view, how are things going with them? Because there was lots of speculation that the whole thing was quietly over a while back. We have the Prince of Discs, the day trader. It's the page, not the page, it's the Knight of Discs, or Knight of Pentacles in traditional tarot. For those of you who are familiar with all of that, the day trader, it's called here. It's interesting because discs, a day trader for me is somebody who's quite a risk taker, obviously making money. But the Prince of Pentacles is Harry, is somebody, he thinks anyway, that this is his big payday, because discs are money, and apparently, as far as I can recall, he has some kind of deal with them that when they finally, and I don't think they have, when they finally float the company, when they go public, he's going to get shed loads of money. That was the thinking anyway, because it's a startup, and California startups shed loads of money. So he thinks that still this is his ace in the hole, basically, as far as he's concerned. This is going public, this is listing on the New York Stock Exchange, this is the big payday. This is the private jet, and this is the huge big super yacht, and Meghan will finally be happy. And let's see how BetterUp is feeling about him. How did they view his performance at this event, this life coaching summit? How do they think he did? Wheel of Fortune, ka-ching! They think it was brilliant. Maybe they think he's still got cachet with that Wheel of Fortune card. It's lucky, it's a lucky strike, it's a windfall, it's a big moment. Maybe they were thinking he wouldn't show up in light of the P. Diddy scandal and all the rest of it. I'm not accusing him, remember that. I'm not accusing him of any wrongdoing personally, but his name is implicated in the court filings. For some reason, his name is mentioned. But they think this is brilliant. And I suppose that through him, they have got their military connections. They seem to have gone into partnership with Invictus Games and certain other military organizations, which I assume came to be because of Hasbeen and his military connections, that little black book of his. So they were very happy, surprisingly for me, but there it is, Wheel of Fortune. I think that they weren't sure that he was going to show up because they didn't really publicize it. He was listed as a speaker, but they didn't really identify where he was going to be, which keynote he was going to be giving or anything like that. So this was, I kept looking, I have to say, I kept looking at the website to see what was going on. This was, sure, he showed up. Thank goodness. We weren't sure, but our lucky day. So that is his performance yesterday. How about in general? Are they happy with his performance? Are they thinking we made the right decision? He's been worth it, and he's helped us. What do they think generally about him? We have the Seven of Cups. It's called debauch. It's the deluded card. I don't agree with the keyword. It's the pie in the sky card. It's about possibilities. So they think still that he's worth it because he can open doors for them because of those connections, those contacts that he has. So they can squeeze him and out will pop a name or a phone number or a general this or a whoever that, and off they go. And the contact is made. So he can open doors. He is possibilities for them. With the Seven of Cups, you never quite know what you're getting. And I have the same sense with the Wheel of Fortune. The sense that he might have a good days and bad days. And the bad days, he might have had a heavy night the night before and not show up, or show up in a bad mood or something like that. There is just that's coming through for me. And I say that because it's sitting with the Seven of Cups, and cups are indulgent energy. Debauch, I dismissed that keyword, but actually I've been nudged to say, pay attention to it, don't just dismiss it. Again, the party lifestyle. Allegedly, when they were in San Francisco, there was a company apartment in San Francisco where Harry stayed a lot of the time, partied a lot of the time. Those were the rumors. And so maybe they don't know from day to day which Harry is going to show up. Sober, useful Harry who can remember his speech, or not so useful Harry who doesn't show up, or who brings some trouble with him when he does. Seven of Cups has that feeling about it of just a little bit unsure. So there are possibilities. They still think that he has some value, interestingly. So how about the people who pay the big money to attend, whether in person or through the live stream? How did they view his contribution? Were they happy with it? Did they feel that it helped them? And we have the 7 of the Major Arcana, which is the Chariot card. Absolutely. And it startles me really, because when I hear him speak, my eyes glaze over and I think, what on earth? It's painful. It's even torture for me trying to listen to him. But this is the ambition card. This is progress. This is achieving goals. So maybe for these people, this is a goal. I paid my $1,600 and I was in something that I saw Prince Harry talking, but even though some of them didn't, apparently, it was worth it because it's some kudos around this still. It's still, at some level, his Prince factor, Prince Harry, Prince of the Realm, is still enough of a draw card that people think it was worth attending, it was worth paying this money. That maybe he has connections, contacts, maybe it looks good on their resume, maybe they can name drop, maybe it will help them in their own trajectories if they say, well, I was on a summit, I attended a summit with Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. She's out there merching bath towels, he's still got the big name, he's the big draw card still. This is very clear in this reading. It surprises me because, of course, by now I have a very low opinion of him personally, but the cards are telling me a different story and I have to respect that story. How do they feel about BetterUp? Do they think that they're getting their money's worth from BetterUp, or do they have some grumbles about the whole thing? We have the Princess of Discs, which is the Page of Discs, kindergarten teacher. It's a lesser energy than the day trader energy. Okay, she's gone from the student, which is the kindergarten teacher, to Harry's scenario is the knight, is the one who activates money and the ability to get it. They are learning, and they feel, because it's the learning card, it's the student card, the Princess of Discs, they feel that they are learning from BetterUp. So whatever BetterUp is offering these people, they felt satisfied with the content. It wasn't a big rah-rah moment, but they feel that they got their money's worth from this thing. They feel that they're getting their money's worth from BetterUp. They have got some big names at this whole uplifting, some very big names. So they're feeling we're learning, we're studying, we're getting better. Our ambitions are being understood and encouraged and supported, and it's all wonderful. So this is a wonderful reading. Normally when I do these readings, they are terrible, and I'm quite used to getting terrible readings here as a tarot reader, and I can say that would take a toll, a psychological toll, of doing tarot readings through uncertainty and without the help of Mindy Kaling and BetterUp. Just me, myself. and of course universe and all of you. I have all of you too. So outcome for the Hasbeen and his relationship with BetterUp as Chimpo of BetterUp. I note they didn't call him Chimpo in the thing. I think it was CIP or something like that. How's it going to go ultimately? Is it carry on with his love fest? And we have the Knight of Discs. Oh, okay, there is a Knight of Discs. Sorry, Prince of Discs and Princess of Discs, they're not equal status. The Knight of Discs, it doesn't matter. It's the same kind of a concept, so it's all good. Knight of Discs. It is the long journey to abundance, to a solid future. As I was saying about there, same thing. So they are in this for the long haul. This isn't going to just end anytime soon. It's mutually beneficial. It's the long road. It's lucrative. And both seemingly quite happy with the way things are going. Even though there's a bit of a volatile energy in here. BetterUp see him as quite volatile. They ultimately think he's worth it. He's worth paying the big money to, assuming that they are, and he's worth maintaining a working relationship. I use the term working very loosely. That is the interesting card. What Harry knows about burnout. So, sorry for a little bit of a moment here, but the meaning is the same, regardless of what the card says on its face there. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.